Why upper body? And this is where theory can get you in so much trouble. You can talk about this channel or that or there. Mm, This is the part of the body that is the exposed most to the world. Is it exposed to the air the most? Is it something to do with their job? Is it something to do postural, where because what they're doing, they're strangling and they're not getting enough flow because they're in front of a computer? Or they live in short sleeves all the time, and so their eczema is worsened by cold air or by heat. Or you find out they're a dishwasher for a job. Or you find out that they do something where the level of air exposure, and we'll be talking about it this Sunday for my dermatology live stream. And so we want to figure out, is there a reason that it's irritated here from lifestyle, the world, etc.? Given that, let's assume that we couldn't find anything. And so we're really like, it's important to remember that these joints, the elbows, tend to show and thus treat heat, the hussy points, and the hussy points of the knees tend to show cold or suffer from cold, and therefore are often used to treat deficiency. Okay? So what's important is that this is very close to our exit. So I have heat in my body, but it's being evenly distributed that I don't really get a rash. But the reason why things is that most people are going to go from elbow, bicep large, and then things thin very quickly. So this is a backup area where, just as I was just describing in that other video, of something goes down and then there's pressure coming up because it's trying to get into a smaller space. Well, that's what that is. Okay. So as it goes down, it's going from chest, big arteries pumping, bigger veins, and then all of a sudden it's got to cross this shoals, Shoals. Yeah. Okay. And then it gets into here. So pressure is going to hit and there's going to be that backsplash. So heat builds in draining all of these points. The hussy points is very effective for that. So it's not that these points are effective for draining heat. It's that heat often gets stuck here. So therefore, needling these spots would release heat, right? But if there is no heat, needling that doesn't release more heat. It's like stomach 36 can't warm an abdomen that's already warm. It's the fact that it allows movement to return. Here we're lessening a buildup of pressure. In the absence of pressure, there is no heat. Pressure being chi, right? Chi buildup. So then I would be curious about that. Is that the reason why it's happening? But that plus what they're touching, what they're exposed to, they're frequently washing their hands. They work in the ER, and so they have gloves or something on that. Those are all things that we'd want to rule out. Given all of that, from a physical medicine side, we would want to really get to know if there is an issue of things. And again, we want to see what type of eczema. Do we think that it's worse because there's not enough flow, or worse because there's too much flow, right? And though it's more true for psoriasis, it's also true with eczema. You could do the test where you cover a little bit of castor oil and you see whether it gets better or worse. If it gets better, then you know that it's fire-related eczema, and clearing heat with herbs, with the treatment, will be very effective because you smothered it with oil. There was no air reaching the area. So in the absence of air to make fire go, the fire gets less. But if it's damp and you cover it and therefore it doesn't breathe, there's less air, it just gets worse. It gets thicker, harder, worse. And in that case, then you know that you need drying herbs, not heat clearing herbs as much. And that will be effective, right? So the castor oil test is a great thing, more reliable for psoriasis than anything else. And then finally, of course, we need to look to see how much the eczema is emotionally triggered. And if it is emotionally triggered, then we could talk about hussy, we could talk about this, we could talk about that. Nothing's going to beat Four Gates. Nothing is going to beat Four Gates plus Bai, and nothing would beat good series of DZAs, not to do all of this, but to make sure that she is not knotted in this area and flowing smoothly so that when her emotions go, they don't get a chance to get there because, worry and anxiety cause the chi to knot or coagulate, congeal. And so keeping everything moving is she tries to build up, but the chi goes, no, I'm going down. So they never get to the point where the flare shows up. It's emptying the cup. But here, the emptying the cup is making the chi move so smoothly that when it does get stuck in an emotional tizzy, it doesn't get stuck long enough or an intensity enough that it can push something to the skin, which is what eczema really is that something happened to push life to the skin and then keep it there so it rots and ferments.